Hey guys, Chester Westerford here. Welcome to Terrifying Tuesday, where I discuss recent news and reviews relating to the creepy, the kooky, and the spooky. So, first off, a little bit of news. In case you can't tell, I'm a big fan of classic horror and classic horror comedies, and some of my favorite films are getting new 4K remastered releases next month, both coming out on the 11th of October. My wallet's going to really be hurting that day. So first I was excited to hear about the Universal Monsters Icons of Horror Collection Volume 2. Last year, of course, we got Volume 1, which included Frankenstein, Dracula, The Invisible Man, and The Wolfman. But this year, we get the four of the other main introduction films in the series: The Mummy, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and The Phantom of the Opera. The first set looked fantastic, so I cannot wait to see these on my 4K TV. I think with this one, I'm especially interested to see how Phantom looks as it was shot in color. Don't get me wrong, the black and white ones look amazing, and I'm not saying that color is better for any particular reason, but this one is just so lavish with the color and the costumes and the sets. I'm just really looking forward to seeing what a 4K remaster would look like, it being the only of the Universal Monster films to be shot in color. And one other release I'm really excited for, personally: the Criterion Collection has done a new 4K remaster of Arsenic and Old Lace from 1944. Directed by Frank Capra and starring Cary Grant, this is one of my personal favorite films ever. In my opinion, it's one of the funniest horror comedies ever put to the screen. Growing up, my family would watch it every Halloween, so there might be a bit of nostalgia for me as well, but there's a reason we watched it every year. It is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. They've only ever released this on DVD before, the latest release being from, I think, 2010. So, yeah, I've been hoping for a 4K remaster or Blu-ray release for some time. Somewhat disappointingly, even though it is a 4K remaster, according to the official listing, it will only be a Blu-ray release, so probably 1080 or at most 2K. It would be nice to see a 4K release eventually, but even without that, I'm still beyond excited to see how it comes out. Now, onto the main feature of this video. I wanted to do a quick review of a full cast audio adaptation I heard this past week, that being Big Finish's Jekyll and Hyde. If you're one of the Doctor Who fans who watches my channel, you probably already know who Big Finish are, but if you're a horror fan who just dropped into this video, you might not know. So, if you don't know, Big Finish is a British company who produces audio dramas for release on CD and download and sometimes radio. Their main output is officially licensed Doctor Who adventures, but from time to time they dip into other areas, such as their Classics range, which adapts classic novels into radio plays. Ones I've heard in the past from this range were really good. They've done Frankenstein, Dracula, The Invisible Man, various Sherlock Holmes. I really enjoyed all those, so when I saw this, I was kind of excited to see how it would go, and I was not disappointed. True to form, this was a really creepy, really well done adaptation, and for the most part, pretty faithful to the book. Adapter and director Nicholas Briggs did a really good job taking the story into audio form here. Of course, there are a few minor changes as always here and there, like the gender swapping of Pool, which I thought worked really well here. It's also refreshing to hear it as originally told from Utterson's point of view. Most other adaptations seem to shift it to Jekyll's point of view. Doing it this way takes it back to its roots as a creepy gothic mystery. Honestly, even as a listener who knows the basic premise, as most people do, this way of doing it I think just makes it creepier. As with the book, it's more people's reactions to and descriptions of Hyde that are scary. That's why an adaptation of this story just works better overall as an audio than a film, in my opinion. The book and in the audio, Hyde isn't so much described as looking ugly as just having an unexplainably evil aura about him. I always kind of lamented the fact that we rarely get an adaptation which seems to understand that Hyde is not physically a monster, but a man of pure evil. It's understandable, as it's a pretty hard thing to do. You can't really present an unexplainably evil aura through images, so they have to compensate by trying to make him look scary, which is why we get typically werewolves or evil Incredible Hulks. Seriously, though, what were the creators of Van Helsing and the League of Incredible Gentlemen thinking? That's supposed to be Hyde? On that though, while still not perfect, I'm going to make a bunch of people angry by telling you something. In my opinion, Russell Crowe's Hyde is one of the best screen interpretations of the character we've had. There, I said it. Why? Because even though he's still Russell Crowe, he's an evil man, not a hairy monster. Getting back to the audio though, another thing which really adds to the creepiness is the sound design. Another thing Big Finish always does really well. Here they create a great atmosphere of the foggy, gothic Victorian London that really works well towards immersing you into this world. And also the creepy sound effects, music, and excellent acting from all the cast work really well together to make some really eerie moments, which wouldn't work as well in film since what you see in your mind is always going to be scarier than what they can present you with on screen, I think. But yeah, if you're a fan of classic horror or even just classic literature, I really recommend you give this a listen to see what I mean. I don't want to say too much more because I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, it's it's an old tale. I'm sure you all know everything. I probably couldn't spoil it that much, but yeah, basically I just give the overall production an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. So tell me, have you heard this audio? If you did, what did you think? And what is your favorite adaptation of the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.